Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakudaj. Like they say, I want to give double honor to the apostles of Jim Master as well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the Akim, the Akwaf, and you Israelite foreigners that are scattered abroad. This is to do an info. Esau in their pride. Let me get that real quick. Their pride has deceived thee. Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. These Edomites are known for building skyscrapers, living in the hills, living on the mountains. It's self-explanatory to this point now that we live in, going back to Petra, going back to Rome, them being in the caves at one point, and them also, even in broad day, in the times that we live in, their resemblance of them living in a cave-like mindset high above. There's no point, there's pretty much no point of making any building above 2 floors. It just doesn't make sense. So when you go to these cities and, these, especially the big ones, you got these 100 plus, above 50 floors. So it says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And see, Esau still got this mindset, this notion that this Edomite chick said, they're trying to always, escape the fact that what they did to so-called Negroes here in America was pretty much an act of, we were given to them by Ham, by our people, so to speak. You see, that's that notion that they're trying to use to try to justify their wicked works, but it's not going to happen. It's not, the truth is out there now. Okay. Let's say yes. Okay. Let's say it. So say it was Ham, Africans that sold us. Let's just say Ham and Israel were two people. We were the same people. Okay, let's look at what you did to Gad. Look at what you did to Northern Kingdom. You still got to face the fact of what you did to the Northern Kingdom. Ephraim all the way down to the so-called Mexicans. But we clearly knew what you did to Gad, the so-called Native Americans. You did to the so-called Tainos, the so-called, the tribes of Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, the book Devastation of the Indies. We know what you did in South America, Canada, etc. But going back to so-called Negroes, the tribe of Judah, Levi, Benjamin. Now, when you go into history, it clearly shows you prior to the transatlantic, you had ports that were called Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. And in order for you to even round people up, what happened was we had mannerism and customs as nobody else. We had laws, statutes, commandments that was given to us by the hand of Moses, and we followed our customs. Now, another thing that people fail to realize, they don't understand what happened to Rome, to the state of Israel in the time of Vespasian and Titus. And it even tells you in the book of, let me see. Let me see if I can find that passage. Babylon, Timbuktu, 2,000,000 Jews fled to Africa. Damn it. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, might have to hold on. Dang. I'm about to see if I can copy this. So it says Africa in his book From Babylon to Timbuktu, Rudolph R. Windsor gives an account of the scattering of the Israelites. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of military governance of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period of Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated that 1,000 Jews, Israelites, fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Millions of Israelites who escaped the persecution of the Roman Jewish war fled into the interiors of Africa. In his book Jewish Roots in Africa, Mr. Lynch Blau, speaking of the Israelites that ran into Africa, says this. Let me see. All right. So hold on. Let me jump down. So it said 1,600 years later, their descendants were rounded up and captured by African and Arab slave traders and sold to the Europeans, fulfilling the curse that were written in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. Rudolph R. Windsor in his book From Babylon to Timbuktu. And we understand when you hold on real quick. What the hell is this? Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it was a good joint. So hold on. What's that about? Definition of ham. Compact Bible Dictionary. Oh yeah, Zonovan. Come on, man. Here goes another one. Let me see. So here is the definition of ham. It says Zonovan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons that lived through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and the Canaanites. So the Negroes are not from Africa. Our homeland is Israel, but due to the scattering of in the destroying of our Slaki of Jerusalem, we fled into Africa. Why? Because it's common sense. Just like in the time of the Lord Lord Yahweh when King Herod came into power, he had to flee to Egypt, him and his parents, because why? Because they were so-called dark skinned. They were dark skinned Negroes that fled to. So like, I don't know what the hell that noise is. So yeah, they fled into Africa to blend in with people that look like them, so they won't be easily found. If they were so-called white people, they would easily have been spotted out. So that whole narrative is a lie. So let's go to Joel, the third chapter. This is what really happened. So Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations, and parted my land. Because that's what happened. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. And that's what happened. Yeah, and what have you to do, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? And that's the reason why Ham is getting jacked up, and even Ishmael is getting jacked up because of what they did to Israel. And the Lord is saving the big bang for Esau. But eventually, what's going on now is the Lord is stirring up the Middle East, and it's going to be the World War, World War III. And it says, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temples, my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. See that? But behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them. A great deliverance is going to be from the west, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians till a people fall off, for the Lord has spoken it. So, yeah, man, the recompense of what you did to our people is about to come upon your own head. So Esau, you're not going to weasel or wiggle. Damn. I hate when they do that shit. So yeah, you're not going to wiggle. John Lemon Gibson. This Edomite devil right here. You're not going to wiggle and maneuver your way out of this one. Again, the jig is up. You're not going to... You've been exposed, Esau. The skirt has been lifted up on who you are. You can't hide anymore. Yeah, with that, I'm say shalom.